Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dish with Devani, brought to you by Heart Centered Social. And I am so excited that you're here because we're going to be diving in to the topic and the discussion around making more money. Like, who is excited to make more money, right? So if you aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Devani Freeman, and I run the Online Impact Society, a membership community for heart-centered and high-vibe women wanting to scale their business to the next level using social media. And I also run Heart-Centered Social, which is an online digital marketing agency helping with Facebook ads, sales funnels, and social media management. So welcome, welcome. If you're here with me, say hello in the comments. If you're here on live, let me know that you can hear and see me and all that kind of fun stuff. And in this episode of Dish with Devani Live, you're going to notice my eyes kind of move because I've got notes here. I want to make sure that I don't miss a beat, and I've got a lot of really juicy stuff to cover. What we are going to be covering today is I'm going to be sharing with you some of the biggest lessons that I had to go through to get to multiple six figures. Some big lessons. I'm going to peel these back. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to get raw and real, okay? And I'm going to let you know in on some of these big hurdles and how I overcame them. And a lot of you can possibly relate with my story. So I want to make the biggest difference for you. I'm also going to share with you how I created a stronger mindset to walk through fear, because fear ain't going away. No, it's not. I'm going to share with you how I set up my business to create freedom, to create consistent income month after month, and juicy, I'm going to share with you a secret weapon that was passed down to me recently, and it's something that has allowed me to hit an entirely new level of prosperity in my business and in my life, and I'm super excited to share this with you. That actually reminds me that I need to make sure that I've got that baby pulled up here. Okay, perfect. So if you want to type in the comments where you are tuning in from around the world, that would be great. And then also, if you are pumped and ready for this session, definitely type in the word yes. Let me know you're here and kick in, okay? So let's start diving into some of these lessons. Your time is valuable, so let's get going and rolling. So the first thing that I want to talk about and share with you on one of my biggest lessons that I had to go through to hit multiple six figures was a lesson that I learned when I was 30 years old. Okay. So when I was 30 years old, I started my business. I was probably, I would say about 28 and a half years old. And when I hit 30, I went through a really intense period in my life. So I left a 4-year relationship that I was in with someone that I thought that I was going to marry. And I found myself crying, sitting on the floor in my living room. And the reason why I was sitting on the floor in my living room is because I didn't have any furniture or anything. It's the first time I lived on my own without a boyfriend or anything. And I found myself crying because I had a contract that suddenly went away. So I was doing social media management services. That's how I first started my business. So I was helping small businesses and I was managing their social media. I was working also for a local nightclub, restaurant, and lounge. They had hired me to manage all of their events and their promotions and their social media. So I had them as well. And I was just starting to get my feet wet in the coaching world and starting to offer social media and business coaching. And so I had signed up for my very first coaching program, which was quite the investment. Okay. It was the biggest investment I had ever made in a coach. And I did that 2 months prior to this whole like shitstorm happening. And And then I found myself where I lost a big contract. So I had all my eggs in one basket where I was really relying on these contracts for these social media management clients. And one of those went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like the rug was pulled out from underneath me. And maybe you've been through an experience before in your life where suddenly you just feel no sense of safety and security financially. And when that happens, like every alarm in your body and your mind is going off. You turn into panic mode, right? And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I'm turning to Craigslist, like, what can I sell? I'm in this program where, it's teaching us how to launch this big event online and get all these experts together and like all this stuff that is still like a ways out for me even launching that. So I don't have immediate money coming in from this coaching program that I invested in. And so what I learned about this experience and hitting what I would like to say my lowest point in my business, like my rock bottom, the first thing that I learned about this is that everything is happening for me, not to me. So I had to learn how to get out of the victim mode of why me? Why did this happen? Why is God punishing me? Why is this happening? Why? And understand that the experience of me hitting rock bottom created this deep fire in my belly for me to actually get out of the conversation of caring what people thought about me, showing up online and being judged, of just saying, screw it. Because I had a stronger vision of what I wanted to create, and that did not look like going back to corporate America. And so when I look back on that experience, that moment was divine download. That was a divine form of grace that I had to go through in order for me to really step out there and go for it and step through my fears, because I was hanging out in my comfort zone. You want to hang out, you want to recognize your comfort zone and be like, great, I'm not there, I'm going up here, right? Okay. So the second lesson that I learned about going through these challenges in my business. And let me know if any of you can relate. If any of you have been through a rock bottom situation, definitely let me know in the comments. So number 2, the second lesson that I learned was not feeling worthy or valuing my own services when I first started. The thoughts in my mind were, why would anyone pay for my time? What value do I offer? Are they actually going to get results? And when these thoughts are going on in your mind, no one is going to believe in you more than yourself. So you have to believe in yourself first before other people will believe you. People want to work with people that are confident, people that can claim a vision for other people, people that stand in their power. So I had to do a lot of work to find that belief. And that first started with finding evidence. Evidence that I was powerful, evidence that I was smart, evidence that I was valuable, evidence that what I taught worked. Because what was happening, and a lot of this I see in the coaching world, is that you take in information and you learn from people and you get certified or whatever that may be. You buy all these courses, you learn all these things, but it's not enough unless you have walked your talk. So if you are teaching something that you have not actually experienced and gone through and taken people through processes of you going through this yourself, you are going to have a disconnect of the belief in yourself of actually feeling worthy and powerful and confident enough because you don't have that evidence, right? So I had to start seeking that evidence. So how did I start creating that evidence? I created case studies. I created results. So I did pro bono work. I did work for free. I did very discounted work of people that I'm like, oh, I see this vision. I know I can totally help you. I answered the calling and the vision that God gave me a couple of years ago to start doing online challenges. And I did it for myself. I got results for myself first. Then I launched a beta program where I brought people through for $147 in my challenge course. People were having $8,000, $20,000 launches after that. I'm like, okay, I got some freaking evidence here, right? So what do? You start documenting the evidence. You start storing this somewhere. So when you have that moment or before you get on that sales call to talk to that other person and hold that vision for them, you feel the strength in yourself first. Okay, this is a big one. I mean, yes, so good. Thank you. Yes. Yes. And I've got goosebumps right now. I mean, this is what allows you to walk the talk. And this is what I struggled with so much in the beginning because I was into the learning. And okay, I just need to learn more and learn more. But you got to stop freaking learning. You got to do the work. You got to push through to get the results. So I had to get out of my own way to put myself out there to do these strategies, to put them through myself. And even though, like, what's funny though, is I have no problem selling agency services because I know that I have a badass team behind me that can make this stuff happen. But when it was different, where I was coaching people and it was selling myself, it was like a whole different energy that I had to really go through. And there's a lot of shifts with that. So I share that with you because that was a big lesson that I learned in the beginning. So if you notice that you're having a really hard time with sales calls, you're having a really hard time with launching that online challenge, or you're launching that list building, or you're doing a training, or you're doing a webinar, maybe it's because you need to check in to find that evidence of what makes you confident, what's making you credible to be able to teach this. And if you don't have enough credibility, if you don't have enough evidence, then it's time to go back to the case studies and go back to doing the work to get those results and evidence. Okay. So lesson number 3 that I learned, and this is a powerful one. This is one that came up again recently, as I recently did some more shifts in my business. I want to talk about letting other people's business visions become your own if it isn't a match. Okay? I love business coaches. I love masterminds because they give you the support into stepping into the next level. But it's also very important to be aware that it's easy to take on the leader and the other peers' visions, especially someone as myself. I'm very highly empathic. And so I can easily take on other people's emotions. And I didn't realize I was highly empathic till about 6 months ago. I was not even aware what that is. So I've been living my whole life with crazy shit happening, and that's a whole other rabbit hole. But now that I've learned to manage this, it's a whole new world. But if I'm not aware of it, I can take on other people's momentum and vision, especially if they're really powerful people. So I found myself surrounded by peers and mentors who I highly respected, making a ton of really great money with a particular coaching model. Okay. And this model is a brilliant model. And I dove in with both feet thinking this is my vision. This is what is best for me. And what I learned about this experience of doing that is, first of all, there's many, many different ways on how to build a lucrative coaching business, okay? But what you have to remember is to step into your own truth on what fuels you and how you work best. So because I'm highly empathic, Susan says, welcome to the empath club. Yes, because I am highly empathic. What I found is that when I work with people in a certain capacity, it can really drain me. And I can also experience anxiety depending on where I was at. I was doing a lot of work with startup coaches, people in the beginning where it's a lot of struggle. You're birthing this baby. And where I really needed to shift and where I shine best is in different areas. It's working with bigger groups, running online programs, helping people in a shorter period of time, like my online impact society, like my courses, and this agency work of doing marketing management, my team behind the scenes, and being able to really stay in that visionary marketing strategy. Like I'm so brilliant, like strategy, and walking people through their stuff, of course, the mindset work, but not having it on my shoulders as I feel responsible when people are so like, dedicated of looking to me for this. And so I have found my secret sauce where I shine and what's best for me on how I have my business set up. So check in with yourself. But statement to journal. If it feels really heavy and is a should do versus a light and exciting feeling, it's not a vibrational match, okay? There's a difference of feeling scared because it's outside of your comfort zone and feeling the fear, but yet there's still that little part of you that lights up of like, oh my God, this is so scary, but oh my gosh, I want to do this, versus this heaviness of like, oh, okay, I can do this, but oh my gosh. And there was so much heaviness in what I was doing in certain aspects. And that means it's not a vibrational match. Okay. So making sure it's in a vibrational match. And so this is a great time, especially in this period right now, being August, being an eclipse, Mercury retrograde, we're tuning in and turning in a lot. We're going to be shedding and are shedding a lot of things that are no longer serving us. A lot of things are bubbling up. So this is a great period of time to talk about this. Okay. And really talk about what lights you up the best. Okay. So thank you all for holding this space for me as I share this. Just your comments are just amazing, and I really appreciate all of you. So the next thing I want to talk about is then how do you create and how I was able to create a mindset to continually walk through fear or through my comfort zone and not stay at my comfort zone. So how I've been able to navigate through all of these business shifts and through these changes and through these lessons, it all comes down to emotional intelligence. Okay, so a course that I did last year that dramatically changed my life, and I know some of you on here have gone through this course, which is Ascension Leadership Academy. And they have different types of emotional intelligence courses all around the world. So definitely message me if you're interested in doing an emotional intelligence course and where you're at in the world. I can plug you into the best one. But if you're near or in San Diego, this one, highly recommend Ascension Leadership Academy. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but they changed my life. So what you learn with emotional intelligence is number one, awareness. Okay. So my ability to become aware of my feelings and my thoughts of why I do things, stop myself while I am doing things to actually see myself from a bird's eye view. Okay, I'm doing this again. Okay, this is a trigger. This is a pattern. Okay. And then number two of emotional intelligence is being able to manage triggers. So if something goes sideways in your life or your business, you don't fall apart. Okay? There's normal, like, feeling sadness, feeling depression, feeling shame sometimes, but then there's the power to be able to shift that quickly. And the quicker you can shift, the quicker you are going to be able to get results and success in your life and in your business. So what I learned from emotional intelligence is, what are my triggers? Being aware of, okay, I'm playing into my little girl. I'm feeling hurt. Okay, where's this hurt coming from? Oh, this is bringing up feelings around this. And I'm actually able to like reverse engineer and self-coach myself, which is really powerful. So I don't have to feel that I have to lean on someone 24/7 to help me work through stuff that comes up on an everyday basis. And also, as I'm working through learning more about being an empath and other things that have been crutches of me masking my feelings, not feeling those deep emotions, I'm really settling into feeling those deeper, going through that and managing my emotions. And that's one thing that was the biggest support to me in growing my business, and what I got out of my mastermind that I was in for almost 4 years. The main foundation of what I learned in the beginning with that was emotional intelligence, and really the direct correlation of how much money you're going to make and how much prosperity and abundance you're going to bring in is the direct correlation of how you manage your emotions, right? Okay. So, and a question is, what type of personality am I? Am I a supporter? So this is something that you learned in the course. So I am a promoter, I am a controller, and I'm an analyzer. So meaning I'm promoter, I love to promote, and oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. And then I'm a controller. So I'm very highly controlling. There's a lot of areas in my life where I've had to learn, and I've got so much awareness around controlling, and really allow trust and surrender to step in. And that's been such a huge piece of lessons for me in the last 12 months, is trust and surrender. And the more that I trust and surrender my bank account, the more I trust and surrender my relationships, the more I trust and surrender around things that trigger me and things that I have fear around, the more I am letting the feminine flow capture me. And it's such a beautiful process and conversation to be in. And we are all in this journey together. And it's exciting as I continue to step into this conversation to be able to share this with you all and to be able to bring you along in this journey. So the next thing that I want to cover is how I set my business up to create freedom. Well, it first comes down to the surrender and trust that creates freedom for me. And when I'm able to create surrender and trust, I'm not in the clutches of fear. So my money mindset used to be a lot around fear. So I grew up with, my dad working really hard. He was in construction, and my mom was sick for a lot of my childhood. She had chronic fatigue syndrome, so she was in bed a lot and she couldn't really work. She was a stay-at-home mom. And so there's always this conversation of not having enough money. So although my needs were always met, I always had whatever I wanted, but it didn't come without the conversation first of, we don't have the money. So that is something that I've had to work through, and I'm still always working through that, of getting that out of that conversation of, I have enough. I am enough. There's an abundance of money. And leaning into the trust that it's always going to be there to capture me. Like when I made this shift recently in my business, like I was so scared because it's basically like letting a portion of my company go, and there's money that was going away. And I was like, I totally embraced it with a completely different energy. And that energy was, I'm totally trusted and I'm actually not worrying about this. And I was so supported by the universe, more than I could have ever imagined. And I think it's a combination of that and also a secret weapon that I'm going to share with you that I've been hinting at since the beginning of this, which I'm really excited to share with you. Are you guys ready? But before I do that, there is one more thing to creating freedom in your business. And number 2 is recurring income. This is key, which is why I'm seeing a lot of things pop up around membership sites, starting a membership program, reoccurring income. So if you are a coach and you are selling one-off sessions and there's no upsell off the back end for them to sign up for a 6, 9, or 12-month period, you got to start doing that. If you don't have anything like a membership program that's low end that can give you recurring income, that is something that I highly recommend looking into. Doing long-term group coaching programs. What can you do where you sign up people to work with you for a longer period of time? You are doing a service for yourself and for others. If you are not setting yourself up for recurring income, you are doing a disservice. Because if you think about it, you're all here doing transformational work, whether it's mind, body, business, food, whatever. You're all coaches, service-based business owners. And it takes time for people to get results. And if you're setting up people to expect that they can get results in 2 or 3 sessions, you're doing a disservice. You're not valuing yourself and you're not valuing that other person. So if you want to create more freedom in your business, you've got to set up that recurring income. And I'm going to be talking later on an episode of Dish with Devani about membership sites and also membership programs. And I have Online Impact Society, which I highly recommend going to. There's a link to join that on my website. And that is it's a low-end membership community. You can actually sign up for a trial for $7, and I can post the link below this for that. And you get to ask me any questions and deep dive on a monthly basis, and there's so much awesome stuff in there. But I wasn't actually planning on talking about this on this Facebook Live, but it just felt natural with talking about reoccurring, and that's one level of reoccurring that I do. And then also I do long-term Facebook ad management, social media contracts. So there's reoccurring with all of that. So the second secret weapon, okay, that I want to share with you. Okay, this is something that was shared with me a couple months ago from my good friend, Christine Campbell, who is a love coach extraordinaire. She's also in the Online Impact Society. She is super successful. She has such a amazing heart. And she was introduced to this. It's called the Oath of Manifestation from Michael Beckwith and the Agape Center. Okay. And this Oath of Manifestation is something that you read every day for 30 days, and crazy stuff is going to happen in your life. It will open up floods of abundance and prosperity like you've never experienced before. But you have to commit to this oath. You have to say it out loud to a partner or out loud to yourself for 30 days straight. And you have to commit to this. And if you want this oath, I am going to gift it to you. All you have to do is type in the word manifest. manifest in the comments below this video. I have it all set up with my bot, so you will get the PDF in your comments, and you will get this Oath of Manifestation, okay? And I'm going to read it to you because it's super powerful. So you can also, if you're not able and you're driving or something like that, I want you to just take in these words, okay? So the Oath of Manifestation. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principles that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I've ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I'm grateful for all that I have and grateful for all that I'm ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is, and so it is. Isn't that beautiful and just like amazing? So this little light of magic was gifted to me, and I feel so blessed to be able to pass this along to you for you to use as you wish and you to use to up-level your business to the next level. And I want to encourage you to do this for the next 30 days and let us know in the Heart-Centered Business Lounge on Facebook what has transpired for you with this, okay? And we can all keep each other accountable and hold each other in our space as we move through this. So thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for hanging. I hope you enjoyed this and you enjoyed me going a little deeper and sharing a little bit more of me. And we will be coming back live in 2 weeks. I've got a really special guest that we're talking about more of the conversation of being seen and us as the feminine and us as women and why we struggle so much. And we're going deep in this topic by a very, very highly intuitive, gifted friend of mine. And I'm excited to bring this. So definitely make sure. And I send you all so much love today. Many blessings, and I will see you over in the Heart-Centered Business Lounge on Facebook. Bye.